This lesson is on slope. The slope of a line is a measure of its steepness. Slope can also be referred to as the rate of change. And in math, slope is referred to as the letter m, and it's going to be equal to the rise over the run, which is just going to be the change in y, so y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And the y2 and y1 just come from our ordered pair. So we have x and y. You have to have 2 points. So we can refer the first one as y1 and x1, and the second two as x2 and y2. Slope is read from left to right, and we want to use a word to describe the slope of each line. Since slope is read from left to right, this first slope we would say is increasing, or it has a positive slope. The second line that's going down from left to right, we would say is decreasing, or it has a negative slope. When we have a flat horizontal line, we would say that the slope of this line is equal to 0. And a vertical line, since it's not a function, this line has an undefined slope. We want to find the slope from point A to B in both graphs. When I look at the graphs, I notice for this first one, my line is going down from left to right. So I know that my slope should be a negative number. And I'm going to find my slope from left to right. I'm just going to count the points of how much I'm moving down, my rise or up, and then how much I'm moving to the left or to the right. So to get from A to B, I'm going to go down 2. Notice how it's negative. That makes sense because my slope is negative. And then I'm going to run 1, 2, 3. So my slope would be negative 2 over 3. For the second one, I notice to go from A to B from left to right, I'm increasing. So I know my slope is going to be positive. Moving from left to right, to get from A to B, I have to go up 2. That's going to be my rise. And then my run is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So my slope would be 2 over 7. I want to find the slope from A to B, B to C, and A to C, and then talk about what we notice. So let's do A to B first. So A to B, I know is going to be a positive slope because it's going up from left to right. So I go up 1, 2, 3. So that's my rise, and my run is 1, 2, 3, 4. So my slope for A to B is 3 to 4, 3/4. Now for B to C, I'm going to still find my slope. I know it's positive, still going up. So I go up 1, 2, 3. And then my run is 1, 2, 3, 4. And now I'm going to find my slope from A to C. It's also a positive because it's going up from left to right. So I go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then my run is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And since slope is a fraction, you always want to reduce it. So it reduced to 3/4. I notice all my slopes are the same. And it makes sense that my slopes would be the same because they all fall on the same straight line. So even though the distance from A to B is shorter than the distance from A to C, the steepness is the same for each of those intervals. Find the slope of the line passing through these points. Since I'm giving the points and not a graph, I'm going to use my formula. M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. I'm going to label my points. I'm just going to label the first ones x1 and y1, and then the second points x2 and y2. It doesn't matter how you label them, just as long as the 1s stay together and the 2s stay together. So to find my slope, when I substitute my numbers in, I have 9 minus 5 over 2 minus 1. 9 minus 5 is 4, 2 minus 1 is 1. So my slope would be equal to 4. Given the function f of x is negative x squared plus 4x minus 1, we want to find the average rate of change from x equals 1 to x equals 5. Average rate of change is the same thing as the slope. So I need 2 points. I know I have an x which is 1, and then for my other point I have x is 5, but I don't know what the y values are. I can use my function to find the y value. So I'm going to find f of 1, which is equal to negative 1 squared plus 4 times 1 minus 1. Based on my order of operations, I do the exponent first. So 1 squared is 1, and then the negative just comes along. Then 4 times 1 is 4 minus 1. Negative 1 plus 4 is 3. 3 minus 1 is 2. So f of 1 is equal to 2. So I have 1 point, which is 1, 2. Now to find the second point, I'm going to find f of 5. Negative 5 squared plus 4 times 5 minus 1. Negative 25 plus 20 minus 1. Negative 25 plus 20 is negative 5, and negative 5 minus 1 is negative 6. So f of 5 is negative 6. Now I'm going to find the slope. I have x1 and y1, x2 and y2. So to find my slope, negative 6 minus 2 over 5 minus 1. Negative 8 over 4 is negative 2. So the slope of this function from 1 to 5 is negative 2.